Well, thank you so much for joining, Lara. So I'm here with Lara Estrada, who is the owner of Yoga Bliss, boutique yoga studios in Los Angeles. And so she'll be able to introduce herself better than I can, of course. But I wanted her to come on and talk to us a little bit about how we incorporate mindfulness and movement. I think, so many people, as Lara and I were just discussing before we started the call, really want to start a meditation practice or a yoga practice, or they know they need a little bit more of that in their life. And they'll always ask, I just don't know have time and I don't know how to start. And so I know Lara will say, as she told me, you just have to start. So we're going to talk about ways that you can incorporate this mindfulness and movement and things into your really busy life, and reap all those benefits of mindfulness to help you cope with stress and build more resilience. And I think at the end, we're going to do a guided meditation. So we'll have a few minutes of Zen. So you will leave this session feeling more mindful and blissful. So I will hand it over to Lara. Thank you so much for being with us. I will give it to you.
Thanks for having me, Chelsea. So yeah, today we'll actually start with a short breathing practice. Then I'll get into a talk. I want to get you just right into an experience. And then we'll end with a little bit of movement and meditation again at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. You can come to your comfortable seat. You can be seated onto the ground. You can be just in any position that's comfortable, and you're welcome to allow your eyes to relax closed. And we're going to do this breathing technique. It can be called like a 4-part breathing technique or a box breathing technique. And basically you'll just start to notice 4 different parts of your breath. So you're probably familiar with the inhale and with the exhale. But between the inhale and the exhales, there's also a little pause before you breathe in and then after you breathe out. So notice those 4 parts of the breath. You don't have to change the breath for now, but just start to notice those 4 different parts of the breath. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend each of those parts of the breath for a count of 4. And your breaths will be in through the nose and out through the nose. And I'll count the breaths for you so we can do it together. So wherever you are currently in your breath cycle, go ahead and exhale completely. Just breathe all the air out of the lungs. You can seal your lips. And then together, we're going to inhale through the nose. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And then hold the breath out, 2, 3, 4. And again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out, 2, 3, 4. And go ahead and do this a few more rounds just on your own. And without rushing to finish, just allow your next cycle of breath to be complete all the way out into the exhale. And we'll take one full breath together. Big inhale through the nose. And then gently through the mouth, let it go. And open your eyes. And just coming back into your space. And just notice how you feel. You might have felt a little bit of a shift in energy, maybe a little bit more clarity and focus. We just wanted to start with that and give you a little bit of a taste of what we can do with mindfulness and breath and movement, and all of it's related. So as Chelsea introduced me, my name is Lara Estrada, and I own 2 yoga studios here in LA. The studio name is Yoga Bliss, and it's been hard lately. Chelsea and I were chatting about this too. Everything's obviously shut down. It's been shut down for almost a year. We're doing virtual and outdoor classes. And before I got into yoga, I did have a typical corporate path. I studied business administration at UC Berkeley, and I experienced the corporate life. I worked in the tech industry in the Bay Area. And I kind of right away realized that wasn't necessarily for me. And I actually had gotten into yoga after work. One of my coworkers had invited me to come to class, and I came with her and I was like, wow, this feels so good in my body. I used to play sports, I used to dance. So it felt good to return to that space of movement and to like lay on the floor and breathe and stretch my body. It just felt so good. And I continued to take classes. And then after a while, that friend of mine, she actually had done her yoga training. And I thought, well, I could do this too. And I eventually went on to do my yoga teacher training without really any plan of even becoming an instructor. I just wanted to learn more, really. And then I really enjoyed teaching. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. The more that I taught in studios and gyms and that kind of space, the more that I really wanted to focus my energy on that. And about 5 years ago, I opened my first studio. A couple of years ago, I opened the second location, and that's how I got into the industry. And it was from my own experience of needing that calm and relaxation in my own life. So I'm sure many of you, if you haven't tried yoga, you've at least heard of it, especially here in LA. It's like can be somewhat trendy, popular way of exercising, but I want everyone to know that it's so much more than just this physical exercise. It's so much more than just a physical practice. And when you study the Yoga Sutras, which are a foundational text of yoga, one of the definitions that's given of yoga is that yoga is the calming of the fluctuations of the mind. So that's one definition that's given, is this practice of calming the mind. And it's when we get to this centered state that we really are able to access something closer to the truth of who we are, when we're away from the distractions of what other people are telling us and that kind of thing. When we start to really tune in and we get to that centered state, we can operate in our fullest capacity of who we are and who we're meant to be. So beyond being a physical exercise, the way that I like to think of it is that yoga is like a full lifestyle practice. And another thing when you study the Yoga Sutras, the yoga texts, is that the path of yoga involves so many things beyond the physical. There's practices of self-discipline, the way that you treat yourself, the way that you treat other people, ideas like non-attachment, operating through life with kindness and compassion and not hurting others. And then getting into the practice of like learning to concentrate, learning to meditate, the actual physical yoga postures, breathing, and meditation. And then all of that leads to this state of bliss. So it's not just the exercise component, but there's so much more to it. And when we go through that whole path of yoga, we get to this state of bliss because we recognize the truth within ourselves and how we are connected to everyone else that we come in contact with in this world that we live in. So just because it's more of a touch point that everyone can probably relate to and probably has seen in the fitness industry, like there are so many benefits to the physical practice of yoga. And I just want to touch on that for a little bit. So in the movement, the physical movement of our body, whether it's yoga, whether it's running, whether it's swimming or hiking, whatever that physical movement is, it has the capacity to shift our mental space pretty quickly. And you probably have experienced this if you've had a tough phone call or a tough conversation. Sometimes if you just go outside and take a walk and start moving your body and get out of that space, you might immediately feel even like 5 to 10% better, maybe 100% better just by getting out of that space. So it's really interesting. I don't know if any of you have pets like a cat or a dog. I have a little dog, and every morning he wakes up, he does a little stretch. Presses palms away, stretches his spine this way. He does an upward dog, he does a downward dog, and he does a little shake. And it's so cute. I love it, but I can hear it. I can hear his little movement routine. I hear his collar shaking and everything. And also, if you look at animals in nature, when if they're like, they're they're being like chased by something, or they get in a little altercation with another animal, after it's over, they do that same thing. They do this little shake, and that's their way of releasing energy and releasing the tension and the stress that they've built up from that situation. So that's a natural thing that we see animals do in the wild, and we're not necessarily doing that. So we're harboring a lot of stress and tension in our body from our daily lives, from the things that have happened. And there's this really great book. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. And it has a lot of information about how unexpressed emotions or trauma is actually stored in our bodies. And in this book, in the beginning, it talks a lot about PTSD and people who have been in war, and then they continue to see things or hear things or just feel like they're still in that really horrific space. But we don't have to go to war to have an experience of trauma being held in our body. It can be something like a relationship issue, or a stressful work situation, or a stressful conversation, maybe childhood trauma, adult trauma. It can be anything. And if we're not expressing our emotions, if we're not moving through it, we can still hold those things in our body. And as I mentioned earlier, that's why moving the body is so important. When we move the body, we're shifting the energy that has come through us, and it helps us to kind of clear that all out and then operate back to our more calm state. So in the yoga practice, getting back to the yoga practice, the postures and the poses and the things that we do and move through in yoga, they're actually meant to prepare your body for meditation. So typically in meditation, you're going to be sitting still. That's most traditional. Of course, you can always lay down, or you can do like a walking meditation, but typically you'd be just seated with your legs crossed, and you're just sitting still, and you're getting into the work of the mind. And if your body's stiff, if your hips are tight, if you have tension in your shoulders and in your neck, sitting still can be very challenging. So that's really the purpose of the yoga postures, to get yourself flexible and limber, so it's actually comfortable to sit and then get you to the meditation. And in the Western world, especially like here in LA, yoga has become this like kind of trend, and it's like, it can help you lose weight, and you develop this like lean body, and there's all these other things that people aspire to with their yoga practice. But in its origins, it's to prepare you for meditation. And then it's from that place of focus where you start to be able to clear out all the busyness and all the chatter of the mind. And I'll start to talk just a little bit about meditation as well. So what is meditation? And you might have these images of like someone sitting in a cave somewhere and in silence, and maybe there's like chanting, and they might be wearing a robe or something. Or maybe you see just like a peaceful picture of someone sitting with their eyes closed, maybe somewhere in nature. And one of the definitions of meditation is just getting yourself to a state of heightened awareness and focused attention. So yes, you can do that out in nature. You can seclude yourself from the world and go meditate, but you can meditate in your bed. You can sit down on the floor and meditate. You can meditate in your office chair. It can be anywhere. It's accessible to everyone. And the benefits are just so great. So there are meditation and any relaxation practice. I'll talk about meditation specifically, but any relaxation practice, you can change what's happening in your body, and therefore you can change the way that you feel. So when I say that you can change what's happening in your body, I'll talk about how stress affects your body, and then also how calm and relaxation affects your body. And that second part of the calm and relaxation, you can access that through meditation. So if you're in a state of stress, and the response in your body can be known as the fight or flight response, or the activation of the sympathetic nervous system. These are the things that will start to happen. So the hormones in your body change. You'll get a surge of adrenaline and cortisol, and cortisol, sorry. And that's like, you know, the hormone that gives you a bunch of energy. And this is like a situation, like if you were in the wild, say you're being chased by a lion or something, you need those hormones so that you can flee from that dangerous situation. And other things that happen is that the blood flow in your body, it moves from the vital organs from the center here, and it's going to flow out to your extremities, to your arms and legs, because you're probably going to need those to run. You're probably going to need those to fight. So the blood is moving away from the central organs. Your heartbeat starts to increase and your blood pressure increases. So everything's at this really heightened level because you're aware, you're just protecting yourself. You're ready for an attack. So that, you know, in the patterns of nature that could happen, like if you were being attacked by another wild animal or something. But in our daily lives, that stress response can happen if you get, like, you see an email coming in and you're like, oh crap, I forgot to do that. You can have that same response in your body. So even our everyday lives can cause this kind of stress and change what's happening inside of our body. And so opposite of that, when we get to the relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system turns on, or the rest and digest response in our body. And this is when something is triggering us to now relax. So we're starting to come down from that stress. And what happens in our body is that our blood pressure decreases, our heart rate starts to decrease, the blood flows towards our vital organs. So this is going to help with your digestion. This will make your immune system improve. And you're just toning everything down and coming to a more rested state. So even when we did that short breathing exercise in the beginning, when we started to focus on our breath and closed our eyes, maybe you started to feel that a little bit, just that everything kind of coming from up here, high energy, just slowly easing and coming down. So just the act of meditation and the act of breathing can help to get us to that calm state. And we really want to get back to that calm state. Stress is not necessarily a bad thing, but we need stress to grow and to face challenges and that kind of thing. But if we're in that state of chronic stress, it can lead to illness and to just like always feeling like we're on high alert. And there's so much benefit to learning to calm ourselves down, and we'll just be healthier, happier, we'll be able to focus, and we'll actually be more productive when we learn to regulate ourselves to get to that calm state. So meditation is something that you can do, and we'll experience a guided meditation shortly. Any physical exercise that you enjoy, whether it's walking, whether it is yoga, martial arts, a lot of really great things are things that involve focus and breath that will really help you kind of get into a meditative state while you're exercising. And also people can get, as Chelsea mentioned earlier, and as we were chatting about earlier, people can sometimes get intimidated by meditation. It's just like, oh, what do I do? But there's so many types of meditation, and thank goodness for technology these days. There's so many offerings of like free guided meditations that you could just listen to on your phone, plug in some headphones, or just go into a room and listen to someone guide you through a meditation. And yeah, I would just say, you know, start with a shorter one, and then you can increase your time, and your mind will be really open to learning the benefits. And also you'll just train yourself to meditate longer and then to operate from that place, even when you are facing stress. So I would say, if you want to start, I would start with a guided meditation. That's probably the easiest way. And there's so many things, like there's different apps that you can use, and YouTube, and just like different recordings that you can just find, and they're really great to help you start that practice. So hopefully that gives you just some background. That was pretty brief, but hopefully you got some important information in there that you can relate to. And now I'm just going to lead you through a short movement, stretch, yoga type of situation that you can do standing, or you can do in your chair. And then I'll end with a short guided meditation. So from wherever you are, I'm just gonna sit in my chair. I'm not really gonna move, but I'll move my camera a little bit further away just so I have space. Move my chair back just a little bit. So from wherever you are in your seated space, just try to be in a place where you can ground your feet onto the earth. So you might need to scoot a little bit forward to the edge of your chair and be in a place where you can find your upright spine. And as you just get settled, just find that tall spine. So from the base of the spine, find an energy that draws all the way up through the crown of the head. And we're just going to move our arms with our breath. So as you inhale, circle your arms up and touch your palms overhead at the top of your breath. And then keep your palms touching together. As you exhale, bring your hands back down in front of the heart space. So breath and movement together. Inhale, circle your arms up, touch your palms overhead. Good. Exhale, bring your hands in front of the heart space. And just one more. Inhale, circling your arms up, touch your palms. Good. Bring your hands in front of the heart. Good. From here, lace up your fingers and then turn your palms forward and press your palms forward. Feel the stretch across the shoulders and the upper back. And then just twist to your right side. And feel that twist in the spine. Take a couple of breaths here. So just remember that you're still breathing. Try not to hold your breath even as you're moving through here. Good. As you inhale, come back through center, pressing your arms forward. And then as you exhale, twist over towards the left side. And then just take a few breaths here as well. And feel the twist, feel the stretch. Good. On your next inhale, come back up through center. And start to bring your arms up and overhead. Okay, just press up into the palms, feel the stretch. Take a couple more breaths. Good, and then as you exhale, release your arms down alongside the body. Good, keep your right arm heavy. Just let your right arm hang loose. And then tip your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Good. Just take a couple moments here. Feel that stretch on the right side of the neck. Good. Inhale, gently bring your head back up through center and just tip your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Keep your left arm nice and heavy. And just feel like you're expanding the space between your left shoulder and your left ear. Good. Gently bring your head back through center. We're going to end as we started, arms moving with the breath. So inhale, circle your arms up, touch your palms. Keep your palms pressed, exhale, hands to heart space. 2 more circles. Inhale, sweep your arms up, touch your palms. And exhale, hands to heart. And 1 more together, sweeping the arms up, touch your palms. And bring your hands back to the heart space. And then just take a full breath here. Take a big inhale through the nose. And through the mouth, let it go. And gently open your eyes, come back into your space. And notice if you feel a little bit more open, maybe you've released some tension in your shoulders and neck. We tend to hold a lot of tension there. So these are some things, some little movements that you can do just from anywhere, whether you're in an office or just need a little stretch in the beginning of the day, maybe right when you wake up or before you go to sleep. And yeah, any gentle movement like that is really good. And especially if you're opening up areas like around here, where we tend to hold a lot of tension. So the last thing that I want to leave you with is a guided meditation. So you can, again, be comfortably seated. If you have a space where you want to lie down, or if you want to sit up against the wall, just anywhere that's comfortable. You can get into a comfortable position, either seated or relaxed down. And then feel free to let your eyes relax closed. And just, if you're seated, you can rest your hands gently to the tops of the legs. If you're laying down, you can open your arms up, or you can gently rest the hands onto the body. And just allow yourself to tune in and see if you can allow the day that's happened so far to fall away. Just tuning into the present moment, and a great way to do that is to start to tune into your breath. It's always happening currently. And today I'll lead you through a loving kindness meditation. So it's a visualization meditation. And from wherever you are, it's allowing yourself to be open to this experience of calm and treating yourself and all those around you with love and kindness. I'll guide you through it. So just imagine that you're looking into a mirror, And you see your reflection in the mirror. You start to see your hair and the way that it frames your face. You see the features of your face, your eyes, your nose, your mouth. And as you look into your reflection, you say these words to yourself. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And then your reflection is looking back at you and says these same things. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And then imagine that you see in front of you a crowd of people. And this crowd of people are your closest friends, your closest family, the people who have supported you through life, the people that have been there through your ups and downs, always been cheering for you. And they're all gathered in one place. They're all together and they're all standing in front of you. And all of them are looking at you and all of them say to you, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And you have this opportunity to speak to all of them at once. And with gratitude, you say to them, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Thank you. And then you see this other group of people in front of you. And this group of people is a group of people that have experienced hardship. So maybe you can think of a community that has faced hard times, maybe in a specific location or just an underserved population that you have some type of connection with and you see them. And through all of their struggle and their strife and their pain and everything that they've been through, they're looking at you and they have the heart to say, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And looking back at them, you're very earnestly wishing for the best for them. And you say to them, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And now picture someone in front of you, just one person that is really dear to you, that you love so much. Might be your best friend or your partner or even a pet, someone that's really easy to love. There's not much harsh feelings between you, just a lot of good memories and a lot of love. And you're standing eye to eye. And that person says to you, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And you say back to them the same words. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And then picture someone in front of you that you've had some trouble with in the past. Maybe you have still some resentment towards them. Maybe you've held a grudge. Maybe you haven't actually seen them in so long because there's this rift between you. This person that's not necessarily the easiest to love, but you have a chance to see them in front of you. And you say to them, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. I forgive you. And they're looking back at you and they say very lovingly, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. I forgive you. And then imagine that you can distance yourself from the entire world and you can see the entire world in your scope of vision. And you say to the entire world, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And for a moment, the entire world is saying the same thing back to you. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And with these feelings of love and compassion and forgiveness and kindness, held within your heart. My hope to you is that you continue to operate with these feelings, with everyone you interact with everyone you come in contact with. And we'll close our meditation just connecting back to our breath. So take another full breath together in through the nose, expand through your lungs fully. And through the mouth, gently let it go. Just take a moment to come back into your surroundings. And gently open your eyes back up. So thank you for your time today. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you are able to operate the rest of your day with some more relaxation and just remember these tips. Again, my name is Lara. My studio is Yoga Bliss and our website is yogabliss-studio.com. And you can find my contact information in there and everything. We're offering our classes outdoors and virtually if you're in LA. I'd love to come see you in class. And if you have any questions or anything, please reach out. And thank you again, Chelsea, for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was so great. Through these sessions, as I sit through them, it's one of those things I think like, oh, I'm in this business. I know all this stuff. I don't really need to pay attention, and then it comes that moment where it's always that wake up call where, I think sometimes the benefit of just setting aside these few minutes, I think the loving kindness meditation and just being able to connect with breath, even for me, somebody who's, I'm moving all the time. I teach classes, I work out all the time, but to take a moment to give this like loving movement to my body, which is just as simple when you had us, breathe in and move our arms overhead. The fact that we can do that at our office and like turning my neck and just paying attention to how is my body feeling as I'm behind my computer jamming away all day. I think it's such a great reminder of, being able to tap in and connect every so often with our bodies, especially as busy as most of us are. So I'm super grateful for you for doing this. I hope that, the people that are watching, even, on the video, wherever, get the same benefit that I just did. And also, recognizing how much stress we do carry and how that is in our bodies and how it's very simple to turn that stuff around. With just some really simple practices. And so that was awesome. Thank you so much for your time and, guiding us and leading us through that. I will post all your contact information up so people can work with you privately as well. I know you did mention you do private yoga or private meditation training. I think that would be really, really helpful. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we hope to have you back again soon.
Okay. Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.